So good morning, everyone, again. Okay, let's try this again. Y'all, come on. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to say it a lot of times. It's a little chilly. So, again, how are you feeling? Y'all feeling good? The mayor say he's feeling good, so everybody else should be feeling fabulous. It is a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Thank you so much for joining us here in the great Druid Heights. As the mayor knows, I always say West is the best. And we are so excited to celebrate with you guys our Etting Street Green Space. Yes. Yes. We are delighted to have our guest speakers, of course, and as well as community residents. Just want to, again, welcome you all to Druid Heights. For those of you all who don't know, the great Druid Heights Community Development Corporation, we are a community corporation that focuses on inclusive and holistic approach. We do real estate development. We are a HUD certified housing counseling, and somewhere is my HUD certified housing counselors out there. We offer reentry counseling, and most importantly, we are a community resource. We are a center for the community. And one of our projects that the community spoke about was right here, where you're sitting and standing. This space, as my colleague will tell you a little bit more about it, was really blight. It was a space of vacant lots, about 30 or more vacant lots that unfortunately had dumping. And so we were able to transform this space. Also, let me take my notes because, I'm getting a little nervous. The mayor is looking at me kind of sideways right now. Okay. Awesome. Let me get back to it. So another great thing that I wanted to share is that we are celebrating 50 years. This year, 50 years of Druid Heights. As you know, we started as a community association, as many other groups start. And we built through Miss Maggie Quill and then Miss Jacqueline Cornish. We were able to become a community development corporation in order to grow and sustain the community. So this is one of our celebrations. Look out for more celebrations of our 50th. Y'all say, what? We gotta have a 50th year. We gonna do it. We doing it now. We celebrating all the exciting things that's happening in the community. Of course, we have Bakersview that's pushing forward. We have Druid Hill that's happening in the 2200 block. Yes, somebody clap for Druid Hill. Somebody clap for the 2200 block of Druid Hill. We have Cab Calloway Legends Park, right, Mayor, that's going to get started. This fall is slowly leaving us, but it's going to get started. If not fall, then this spring. And we have a host of our partners. Of course, we're here in the Western District. Somewhere is one of our partners, Black Women Build. I think I saw Shelly somewhere. She bought her own chair, too, so I know she's out here. Yeah, there she go. And so we're just excited to celebrate. As we continue on, prior to us even starting this occasion, you know how we do. We want to make sure we have a prayer from our pastor, Dr. Daniels. He's somewhere out there, and we're going to invite him up now. Thank you. You all welcome him up.
Good morning. Let's just pray for a moment. God, we thank you for another opportunity, another day, and all of the elements that you provided for us to be here today. We thank you for this great community that continues down through the years to provide service for our community. But also, God, we thank you for the entire city and all the work that you're doing in our city. We thank you for all of the opportunities that you provided and to those leaders that are providing this work. Your name is great and we are great. Baltimore City is great and our state is great. Amen.
Amen, amen. So now that we have blessed the space and the moment, we're going to have an occasion given by our Director of Outreach, Mr. Tavon Benson. Y'all bring him up.
Good morning, Baltimore. Good morning. Yeah, that was dry. Good morning, Baltimore. Good morning. Welcome to the Druid Heights community and welcome to the Etting Street Green Space and Green Park. Etting Street Park. For many years, it was a dumping site in the community where illegal dumping and environmental crimes took place on a daily basis. Thanks to our partners and community stakeholders, which include the Mayor's Office of Recovery Programs, Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development, Baltimore City Department of Housing and Community Development, Maryland Department of Natural Resources, and funding support from the Chesapeake Bay Trust, the community was able to transform this lot into a beautiful space offering stormwater management, future artwork, and a safe place for residents to gather. Adopted in 2018, the Baltimore Green Network Plan specifically lists the Druid Heights neighborhood as one of its focus areas. The project helped DHCDC, okay, Mother Nature. The project helped DHCDC, the City of Baltimore, and the City of Baltimore to implement one of the strategies outlined in the Baltimore Green Network Plan. A quote from our executive director: "The creation of intentional green space assists the community in transforming vacant lots into amenities to enhance the community's need and speaks to providing a safe space for all residents." In addition, this corridor reaches the business district, Pennsylvania Avenue Main Street, the Black Arts District. A quote from Joan Dre Jennings. Thank you, and again, welcome to Druid Heights.
Good morning again. So I don't think I introduced myself, but Mr. Benson introduced myself. So yes, I am Joan Dre Jennings, Executive Director of Druid Heights. And again, thank you. Thank you so much. And again, we're here to celebrate. So I know it's a little cold, a little warm, and we don't have the music teed up just yet, but we're going to get it together. And we are so honored and grateful that that we have our guest speakers here. And we want to celebrate all the great things happening in Baltimore, right? The mayor just celebrated how many murders that we did not have? Over 100. And 408 days in Brooklyn, no murders. That's something to celebrate, right? And so we want to continue with the celebration. It's the end of the year. We want no murders. We want peace in our community. And so with that celebration, I'm going to bring up the wonderful Mayor, Honorable Mayor Scott. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, y'all. Come on. Y'all from Baltimore? Who is from Baltimore? I'm not even from Baltimore. We want to bring up the Honorable Mayor Brandon Scott. Let's give it up.
Thank you. You might not be, but you ours now, John Jay. Give it up for your fabulous executive director who's doing great work here in Druid Heights. Good morning. I'm not even going to say good morning, Baltimore. I'm going to say good morning, West Side of Baltimore. Good morning, Druid Heights. It is, thank you all for having me, and thank you all for being here on what I would say this balmy day. I'm a cross-country runner, so this is warm for me. I like this. I don't like to be too hot when I run, so this is perfect. I want to give a special shout out to the most important people here today, everyone in this community, all the folks who have worked in this community for now 50 years. Druid Heights is 10 years older than me, so we know how long this organization has been doing work in this neighborhood. And I couldn't be more excited to be here this morning because of all the great things that have already been said about what's happening in Druid Heights, right? We all know what that 2200 block of Druid Hill is going to mean for this community. Those of us who have been around and understand what it was again, and what it can be again. And we can't wait to see that. But as you heard earlier, this spot, Etting Street, right here, used to be a notorious dumping ground. I can't tell you how many times someone sent me a picture on Instagram or Twitter, if they're a little older, on Facebook, talking about dumping right here in this spot. A spot where people from all over, and I'm going to be very clear, not just people from Baltimore City, because we go through the trash, people from the region would drive past 1,670,000 trash cans to come here to dump. But what really those folks were saying, it wasn't just about them finding a place to get rid of the trash and not have to pay. They were saying a lot about what they thought about not just this neighborhood, but the people here. And what we're all doing now through this project and this labor of love together is showing people that the folks here are worth investing in, that they are hardworking people, that they are people who have stayed and been committed to this city even when the city wasn't committed to them. And that's why we're here today to celebrate. I am just honored to be a part of that. This now will be a shining gem for this community, something that we all can be very proud of. And this one is special also because it serves also in the role of helping to mitigate inland flooding that has been happening in the area as we work together to also combat the climate crisis and the ever-evolving weather impact on our city. Y'all, it was just 80 degrees in November last week, right? We have to understand. Everyone say like, oh, well, it's going to get cold. Like construction is going to have to stop on everything. Well, maybe not, right? We have to understand that this is real and we have to come together to tackle this issue of climate change if we want our children, our grandchildren, our great-great-grandchildren to be able to live in the world as we see it today. And it speaks to how thoughtful so many of our neighborhoods and how thoughtfully they're being invested in and revitalized, especially in places that have endured so much intentional disinvestment. We at the city were just happy to put some of our ARPA funding in. Thank you, Director Kiernan, and thank you to President Biden and Vice President Harris for all the investments that they made in Baltimore, $641 million. So when you see them, say thank you. When you see our congressional delegation, I know Alana from Senator Van Hollen's office is here, say thank you, because that investment that they have made have been helping us in our communities. It's helping us build new rec centers all around town, new pools, things like this, new housing developments, and it's really helping Baltimore grow into a better version of itself. But today, we're here to celebrate here on Etting Street. I want to say thank you again, and let's continue to change the story and the narrative about what people say about Druid Heights. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mayor Scott. Now, we are so happy that Senator Hayes was able to send a representative. So please let's bring up Ms. Laura Mayo.
Y'all, the mayor is related to. The mayor and I are relatives. We found out. Senator Hayes sends his greetings. He is en route from a meeting with the governor, pounding the pavement for the West to bring resources back to Baltimore. So I stand before you as his surrogate, and I hope I am adequate, with a citation from the Senate of Maryland. This is an official citation, and it reads as thus: be it hereby known to all that sincerest congratulations are offered to Druid Heights Community Development Corporation in recognition of the Etting Street Green Space Project. This strategic approach combating dumping, inland flooding, and non-point pollution is a model to communities everywhere. Providing walkable space promotes continued investment and clearly signals your love for your community. I am grateful to know that I have a partner who is passionate about community. Presented on this 13th day of November 2024 by Senator Antonio L. Hayes of Baltimore City Legislative District 40.
Thank you so much. Now so I'm going to be talking about layers throughout my introductions. Y'all know I have to, put a little something with the introduction. I don't want to just call people up here. And so, who layered today? I want y'all to know, for those who don't know me, I'm going to talk. I like to talk. Everybody know that. My staff knows I like to talk a lot. So I'm a call and response. So I'm going to just, bug you throughout and talk to you throughout. So, y'all, who has layers again? Yes. So we are so grateful that Druid Heights and the wisdom that we were able to go and partner and strategize in doing green space, in doing revitalization efforts. We were able to layer. Y'all see that? See how I did that? The funding opportunities from city, state, and our philanthropic and our partnerships in order to do this work, because this is hard work. It is not cheap, wherever the contractors out there and the architects. This is work that we have to make sure that we want it to be sustainable, and we want it to done correctly. And so all that to say that we're so excited that we were able to layer the funding sources and use ARPA funding. So we want to bring up Chief Recovery Officer Ms. Shamaya Kearney up to say a few words.
All right, good morning. Since John Dre is going to do most of the talking, I won't be before you long. But again, I'm Shamaya Kearney. I have the privilege and honor of serving as the Chief Recovery Officer for the Mayor's Office of Recovery Programs in Baltimore City. You heard the Mayor make reference to the $641 million that the city received in American Rescue Plan Act funds.
Switch it back on. Switch it off.
The battery died. Thank you, Mayor Technical Representative Scott. So again, the city received $641 million in American Rescue Plan Act funds. Of course, those funds were made available to us by our wonderful president and by our federal delegation. So again, we want to clap it up for them, because without that investment, there are a lot of things that we would not be able to do in Baltimore. But if you've ever heard me speak before, what you've heard me say is that $641 million is not enough money to address all of the needs that the city has. But it is an opportunity for us to change the course of this city. And so in doing so, under the vision and direction of Mayor Scott, we've been able to do considerable work in West Baltimore and in the surrounding areas with the American Rescue Plan Act funds. This is just one of many projects. We have youth development. We're also working on other housing development projects. We're mitigating blight. We're mitigating vacant properties. We're doing a lot of work in this area, and it is because we care about you, our residents, who we say that we want to serve. And if we want to serve you, then we have to listen to you, and we have to fund the projects that mean the most to you. So we are grateful to partner with this CDC. 50 years is a very long time to be around. Let me say that I served on the HOA for 3 years, and baby, that was enough. So 50 years of commitment to the residents and to making sure that there is a vision for this community says a lot. And we should clap it up for that again, too. That is a very long time to really be invested in making sure that you are listening and adhering to the will and the desires of residents and in partnership. So there are, again, lots of things that we're doing with ARPA, lots of big splashy things, but really it is the partnerships that we have with community. It is the projects that mean to most to people like you, who I don't always get the opportunity to see and engage with, sitting behind my desk and making sure that we are implementing these programs and projects by all of our statutory deadlines. And there's a whole lot of rules and regulations that come along with this. We're doing it so we don't always get an opportunity to come out and be with you. But this was important for us to come today to show you how much we care and how grateful we are for your partnership. I also want to say, while you often get to see me in situations like this, there are 9 other people in the Mayor's Office of Recovery Programs who are just as dedicated to you as I am. They're not always here, but there are 2 here today that I do want to shout out, because without them, there is no recovery office. And so I want to acknowledge Lauren Jackson, who has worked in partnership with the community on this project for the last several years, and also to Brian Kelly, who was here making sure that we get the message out. I'll lastly just say that you don't always hear the good stories about ARPA. Sometimes, depending upon what your news source is, you might think that $641 billion is a bad thing, depending upon your news source. I'll say that again. However, we are committed to making sure that the good news about what we are doing in this community gets out, and Brian is a part of doing that. So if you are not familiar with the Recovery Office, we ask you follow us on all of our social media platforms. Follow us on our dashboard. Everything that we do with the American Rescue Plan Act funds is available to you. We have a dashboard that is public. We have impact indicators that is public. All of our reports to the Department of Treasury are public. All of our reports to the City Council are public. Never should you say that you don't know how ARPA is being used in community, because it is always available to you to read and review. So thank you very much for the opportunity to address you all, and we are glad to be partners with you. Thank you.
Everybody say public. So don't go to the website. So don't act like there's secret things going on. As she said, that funding is not even enough for the real investment that needs to be put. So we are appreciative, and we look forward to whoever the federal and Senator Van Hollen, Alana, all the support, the continued support in West Baltimore and with Druid Heights from the federal agencies. So thank you so much, Shemaya, for your words. Next, we are excited that Councilman Torrance also was able to send representation. Let's welcome Ms. Sheena Ham.
I'm short, Jandra. Good morning, everyone. I am so glad to be here to stand in for the Honorable Councilman James Torrance this morning. My name is Sheena Ham, and I serve as his Director of Constituent Services and Engagement. We also have a resolution to present you all with. But first, I'm so excited to be here. As a West Baltimore girl myself, I've definitely seen the changes in this community, and it is so empowering and uplifting. And it's really an honor and a privilege to be a part of the changes and being just on the ground with the community members. So I want to definitely give a shout out and a thank you to the residents of this community, for everyone who has ever put in a 311, for everyone who has ever contacted our office in the wee hours of the morning, for everyone who has ever just pointed out the things that, need change, and who have recognized that this community is worth fighting for and have stuck with us and just been a part of that interconnectedness that is needed to, overcome the multi-generational, systemic things and changes that we need to, prevent the future poverty of this community. So I just want to say thank you to all of the residents. Thank you to the agencies who have, just been sticking with us through it all, working with us and supporting the councilman and the office, just to make sure that all things are coming into a completion. We're not there yet, but it's coming through. I also want to go ahead and recognize the incoming council member. Is he here today? Zach Blanchard, who's way back there. Hello. We look forward to working with their office, the District 7 office and the District 11 office. Definitely are partners, especially in the Druid Heights community. Come out to our cleanups that we like to participate in. So I'm going to go ahead and read the resolution. Be it hereby known to all that the City Council of Baltimore offers its sincerest congratulations to the Druid Heights Community Development Corporation in recognition of the Etting Street Green Project. The entire membership extends best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution be presented on this day, the 13th of November, 2024. Thank you, Jandra.
Thank you so much, Sheena. And now we want to continue down this line of layering. No, but seriously, we were able to partner and continue to partner with Baltimore City and HCD through the leadership of Commissioner Alice Kennedy in making sure we're creating intentional green space and making sure we're removing blight. As some of you may not know, this park was city-owned lots. And so this wasn't just Druid Heights just purchasing all the lots, because it's a lot of lots and we don't need to be purchasing all the lots and paying all the taxes and water bills, Mayor. But we really wanted to make sure we heard from the community, and as it continue to be blight and dumping, make sure that we partnered with Baltimore City through the Adopt a Lot and through the other strategies in order to make sure that we're protecting the space in the community. And so with that, I would like to bring up Commissioner Alice Kennedy.
Thank you, Jandre. Good morning, everyone. It is really exciting to be here. I was thinking back, when I was talking earlier before we were starting with Tavon and the rest of the Druid Heights CDC team about a block party that my team, when I was deputy commissioner, actually hosted right here. It was basically between the 21 and 2000 block of Etting all the way up into the Cab Callaway Park, and it was focused on lead hazard reduction, but also the prevention of vacant properties. And we did that in the summer of 2019, expecting that we might be able to do some more the following summer and so forth, but the pandemic hit us. But I think back to that day, which was an amazingly fun and joyous day here in Druid Heights. And this area, we would walk up and down this block of Etting. And when we say that there was dumping and illegal dumping here, it wasn't just some bags of trash that was easy to move. We're talking piles of rubble, piles of concrete, piles of asphalt, piles of wood, piles of rocks that were on either side of the street. So to come here this morning and see what we have before us. Okay, so we're back now. Thank you for that little bit of and we have a music coming up. This is the best intermission yet so far, right? And we have John Jay's check. We have John Jay's cheat sheet back up here too. So we're rocking and rolling now. So back to the vision here. Think back, mounds of dirt and rock and piles, and look to where you are today. And the biggest thing that I want to highlight about this is that the work in Druid Heights CDC, the work that we're doing at the city in partnership with the Druid Heights CDC as one of our impact investment area neighborhoods, is about making the vision of community a reality. This is about community-led, community-informed, community-driven development, and not just from the standpoint of tackling blight and development from renovation of properties, but also the creation of green space, also the maintenance of our vacant lots. And when you think about Druid Heights, in the space that we have the 2100 Etting where we are with this beautiful area. We have the Cab Callaway Park just across the street. You have the Gold Street Park. You also have the Peace Park, which is a wonderful place to go and sit. When we were talking about earlier about wanting to have peace in our city and peace in our neighborhoods, the green spaces add to the vibrancy of communities, but they also add in terms of helping to protect our communities. They help create spaces that are available for people to go and reflect and be enjoying space in the community. 2200 block of Druid Hill is going to be, that's a priority block for us. That is going to be revitalized. It's going to build off of this space. I'm going to say it again. I know that earlier we clapped, multiple claps for that block. That's one of the things I keep checking in with John Jay and the team about. When do we think we're going to see construction happening? We're out getting that fence up. But this is just a continued vision of the work that we're doing with block level planning, the work that we're doing on investment in our communities, and how we're transforming communities with the community vision. So I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited to see the transformation that's been made in the community, thinking back to that summer of 2019 and kind of where we are and where we are today. The partners of Druid Heights CDC, such as Shelley and Black Women Build, and the work that's happening all around us here, it's all building from strength, and it all is building from a holistic, comprehensive approach that doesn't just focus on the physical construction of buildings, but it focuses on the green space. It focuses on creating the opportunities for the people and the humans that live in our community communities so that they can thrive and be safe and be happy and be content from birth until death in safe spaces for them. So I just want to say congratulations on 50 years. Congratulations on this beautiful space, and we'll keep up the work.
Yes, we got the new mic and the music. Are y'all excited? And the phone's dropping. So, are y'all warm now? You feeling it? You feeling it?
Yes.
Don't get bored, because the party is just starting. So, somebody said 7-Eleven. We are in the 7th and the 11th district. Thank you so much, Sheena, for reminding us of that. And welcome, Councilman. He's back there talking. But welcome. We're excited to get to know you. I'm gonna say it when he's facing us. I'm gonna talk to him again. Welcome, Councilman. That's okay. And we're excited that you're continuing to partner with our neighbors back there, with Shelly and definitely Lady Breon with Black Arts. We're excited for the partnership and the continued success and growth in the community. So thank you for joining us. So you all know I talked about layers. And so now we want to bring up, I think I'm doing it out of order here, but Assistant Secretary Carol Gilbert with the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you. Thank you, Jondre, and thank you for fixing the mic because I don't talk very loud. Some of you might not know a cool secret that Jondre used to work on my team, and somehow the CDC stole her away from. But our loss is your gain. She's done a great job, and that kind of reminds me when you mentioned Ms. Jackie Cornish, that my time working with Druid Heights CDC goes back really to when I was at the Neighborhood Design Center, and Ms. Jackie Cornish was there. So the vision lives on, thanks to Jondre and her great team. Unlike the mayor, I can't say I'm 10 years younger than the CDC, but I'm not that much older, right? Okay. And before I get too far into these rambling remarks, I should say I bring you greetings and congratulations from my boss, Secretary Jake Day, and his boss, Governor Moore. We are really, really committed to the comprehensive investment strategy that this community has been making over many number of years. And you can just look around and really see the elements of that strategy. Driving here, I saw different elements of the strategy on Pennsylvania Avenue. And the 2200 block, has anybody ever heard of the 2200 block of Druid Hill Avenue? And the Green Space Network, I think we've supported that 6 or 7 years in a row. I also want to call out the folks I see in the Clean Corps uniforms. Yay! That's a really, really super great program. And we've been able to support little bit parts of that work through our Community Health and Safety Works initiative, which I hope will live on. I guess the big news of the last couple of weeks is that the governor announced his commitment of to Baltimore. He turbocharged the commitment to Baltimore through last year's budget, thanks to the great support from Mayor Scott and his team. And we'll have, yay, $50 million a year for the foreseeable future. And we hope the foreseeable future is many years. Yes. And we're going to, and we are, as the commissioner noted, community-driven, community-led. We are not coming in and saying, here's what you should do. So we really are just funders in support of your community innovation and creativity and endless, boundless energy of volunteers and staff leaders. Folks like Shelley Halstead from Black Women Build over there, great work. And I think I saw another partner. I don't see Wanda. Usually I see Wanda wandering. We're also working very closely just south of here in Upton. We'll be celebrating the opening of 22 houses, the sale of 22 formerly vacant houses into beautiful homeownership opportunities. So we're everywhere, and we want to help you do all that you're your dreams can lead us to help you with. So thank you very much, and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Carol. And I must say, with you and of course Kevin Baines, I learned so much about community development. I didn't even know I really wanted to do this, and so it definitely continues to be a full circle moment as I continue to do this work. And I want to shout out also the folks from Baltimore HCD and Maryland Department of Housing. I think Howard's out there somewhere with HCD. Woo! Yeah, give a hand clap for Howard. He does some work. We love him. Maryland, with Carol's team, he does work. He does. With the Maryland Department of Housing, I see Larry Brown out there, and I'm not sure who else, but these are the folks, seriously, that actually continue to advocate for us, and I've seen it with my own eyes, but even behind the scenes, they're continuing to advocate. So thank you so much to you all. I also want to forgot to mention my board members. Definitely, board president is there. I think Mr. Richard Edwards is there. There he is. Yes. And you all heard from Bishop Daniels, if he didn't leave, also on our board. So I definitely bring greetings from our board, who stands strong and talk to me all the time. Y'all, we talk all the time, right, Mr. Rick? And making sure that this work continues to get done, as they say, and we continue to press forward with the community work. And so we have just a few more speakers. Y'all good? Is everybody good? I think, okay, that was kind of low, but I'll take it. We want to also recognize Department of Natural Resources that will speak, and we have Miss Mariah that will speak for Department of Natural Resources. Let's bring her up.
All right. Good morning, Druid Heights. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm really honored to be a part of this special day and this special project. So my name is Mariah Davis. I'm the Environmental Justice Officer for the Maryland Department of Natural Resources. So we're another proud state partner to be a part of this project. I'm not going to add too much to a lot of the things that have been said. I'm here to say thank you and to give out flowers. So first off, I want to say thank you to our staff who are here from DNR. Give us a wave. Let people know who you are. We helped to secure $200,000 to help with the revitalization, to help hire some of the great folks. So a lot of that funding came from the EPA bipartisan infrastructure law. So thank you, EPA, who are here today. You know, they say a lot of times in government we don't really work well together. We're not always communicating well. But the one thing I want to say about this project is that this is a great example of community, partnership, working together. You know, given this new incoming presidential administration, I'm an advocate at heart, so I have to say this. You know, we have an uphill battle coming ahead, especially when it comes to climate change, you know, fighting for people, fighting for communities. But this project really represents values-based work that centers the people of Baltimore. And for the people in the back who didn't hear me, this is a values-based project, okay? So I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud to be a part of this. Thank you, Ms. John Dre, for all of your work, not just, you know, in doing all of this, but also for the event today, okay? I know she worked really hard to make this fun. Thank you to Cityscapes. Thank you to Landscape Outdoor Services. These were the folks who were on the ground doing the cleaning, the engineers, right? Give us a wave, give us a shout out. Yes, yes, yes. So as the Environmental Justice Officer for the state, I have to talk about what environmental justice is. Okay, so every day, Black and brown communities, low-income people We face disproportionate impacts of pollution. We talked about the dumping. We talked about the toxicity. We talked about the flooding, right? That's all race-based, right? Race is the number one predictor of your exposure to those toxic chemicals. And I'm here to say, now more than ever, DNR, the state, Secretary Josh Kurtz, the governor, we're committed to addressing environmental justices, okay? We're here to partner not just today. This isn't the first project and this is not the last. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much for all of this support. And we are very excited. And thank you, Mr. Scott.
Thank you so much, Mariah. And yes, thank you for shouting out the team, which I'll talk a little bit more about. But I also wanted to shout out Cara, who have definitely always maybe got on her nerves and did so much email back and forth. And also Lauren, who Shemaya previously mentioned. But these are the people who do the background work, right? Who are making sure that when I'm emailing them 500 times and it's wrong, that they're saying, no, please do this again, and being patient and offering the TA. That's important to community groups. You guys might not know that, but that is really important to community groups, that for people having those project managers that actually care, that's actually going to talk through with you and guide you through the process. Because guess what? You don't get that money if you don't get that TA. If you don't get the TA, you're not getting the money. I mean, I'm just being honest and trying to let y'all know. That's a little tip for any of my partners out there. Make sure you get that technical assistance. So I digress. So y'all feeling good? We only got, I think, two more. Yes, one more partner here as my team is rolling out the ribbon. So get excited. So we talked about the layers. We talked about West is the best. You know, I will not stop saying that because I really want to make sure that we're continuing to get that support in all of Baltimore, but definitely in West Baltimore has a lot of underinvestment, and we want to just make sure all the communities get all the equity and all the investment in our communities. And so we're excited that WNADA was formed. Thank you so much, Secretary Hayes, and to the delegates, and to Governor Westmore. And so with that, I would like to bring up Mr. Chad Williams from WNADA to say a couple of words.
Well, I have become proficient in being the last person to always speak. And it's always scary because you never know what I'm going to say. But one of the things I want to take a step back before I talk about this phenomenal event right here. Yesterday at the Baltimore Together Summit, the mayor made it a very profound statement to Baltimoreans about the election, and talking about how Baltimore and the state of Maryland is a safe place for people to relocate to, invest, and redevelop. And that's something that we see right here. Yeah, you can clap for that. That's something that we see right here, why Baltimore is the right place in the country to relocate to and invest in. When the West North Avenue Development Authority was created by Senator Antonio Hayes to create a comprehensive plan for the West North Avenue corridor focused on housing, transportation, and economic development, it was also about bringing equity and parity that we have seen unfairly, unjust, not happen in the Black Butterfly, right? We understand that a lot of investment historically has happened in the white ale. And WNADA is here to address those disparities in partnership with Baltimore City, our partners at Maryland DACD, Maryland Transportation, and the entire Moore administration, which we are a part of, and also the Scott administration. And so with that, one of the things I like to do in my speeches is keep it really short and drop the mic and just say that, John Dre, today, I pressed the button and awarded you $100,000 so we can fix up this pavement here. And this will be our investment and our continued investment in West Baltimore, supporting Druid Heights CDC. And John Dre, I'm probably just as old as Druid Heights CDC, almost at the exact same age. So congratulations, my sister. We love you and we support you. Thank you. All right.
So I'm going to give a couple of acknowledgments before we end and go into the ribbon cutting. And one more last item we'll have. Do want to acknowledge, I think we did acknowledge a little bit, but I do want to acknowledge Senator Van Hollen's office. Alana Jones is here on behalf of Senator Van Hollen. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to the community members. Thank you again to Department of Housing and Community Development, HCD, Baltimore. We had a team, myself, you all know I didn't put all this stuff in, and or the team, but SBC was our contractor along with minority contractors that was able to install the park and the trees, as well as we already talked about Nickel and Dow and the architects that also were able to do that work. And Chesapeake Bay Trust also assisted through some pre-development as well. I also wanted to give a shout out definitely to the Druid Heights team, the great Druid Heights team. We have the Housing Counseling Department here, Ms. Candace Rice and Ms. Debbie Horsey. Of course, you've seen Mr. Tavon Benson. We have the outreach team. Ms. Osley Fisher is here with real estate, and we have a new real estate manager who's, I think, somewhere around Mr. Eric Johnson, somewhere there he goes. And he's next to his predecessor, Mr. Richard Pearson, who's also here. And also, we have Miss Carolyn here, who's representing and helping, always helping with our transitional housing. And everybody knows Mr. Andre, who's not here, but give it up for Mr. Andre, who's also supporting us. I did want to do one quick thing, just as a closing out, if you will. Yes, okay, wonderful. So just to close us out, I want to make sure that we're remembering why we're here, right? We talked about the blight, we talked about, but we are here for the community. We did this for the community, and they spoke loud and proud. We will be, this is almost phase one. We'll continue with phase two on the repaving. Thank you so much, Winata. And it will have a mural. I also wanted to shout out Miss Mary, who in her passing, along with my cousin Miss Jennings, was able to advocate. They lived down at the bottom of Bloom Street, here at the bottom. These residents are who is advocating for this change, right? These are people that come to our door, tell us every day, right? Miss Carolyn shaking her head and talking to us and calling us and making sure. And these also are the elders in the community. And I can't not end this without talking about our elders in our community. There are so many that have passed this year. Miss Liz of the beauty shop passed, and we have other elders who've passed. We have elders, Ms. Newman from our board that has also passed. So this is in honor of the elders, y'all. This is in honor of continuing the legacy for the children that I saw walking 7 o'clock this morning and passing by like, ooh, what is that? And so quickly, I just want to talk about the power of one. One song can spark a moment. One flower can wake the dream. One tree can start a forest. One bird can herald spring. One smile begins with a friendship. One hand clap lifts a soul. One star can guide a ship at sea. One word can frame the goal. One vote can change a nation. We know that, right? One sunbeam lights a room. One candle wipes out darkness. One laugh can conquer gloom. One step must start each journey. One word must start prayer. One word must start each prayer. One hope will raise our spirits. One touch can show that you care. One voice can speak with wisdom. One heart can know what's true. One life can make a difference. And you all will see it's up to you and me. Amen. So this is the ending of this part. I do want to give a moment for thank you so much for you all coming. Now y'all only come when the mayor comes. So now when I call next time and Mayor Brandon Scott is not here in Druid Heights, my name is Miss Joan Dre Jennings, and when I call, we want to see you here, right, community? We want to see when all the celebration, when the kids come, and when we just having random stuff, because we want to celebrate community. When the mayor is here, thank you so much. I love when y'all are here when the mayor is here. Y'all always come. That's why we love the mayor to come. And also when he's not here, when it's just community. So thank you so much for coming. So we're going to give you a moment of time to ask questions for Mayor Brandon Scott, and then next, for me to, sure, you can ask me some questions. I don't really got any answers for you. I'm sure Mayor Scott has more answers, and then we're going to go to the ribbon cutting. But yes, any questions you may have.
Questions. You talked about the elders a minute ago about how
Yes.
Heritage Street. What is your hope for the young people who see this and see the investment in?
For young people, great question. Thank you. Yes, our hope is that we continue to utilize this as program space. We're going to continue to partner. We have Gold Street Park, we have Archway Park, we have Peace Park, and definitely the Cab Calloway Legends Park is that it'll be not just an amenity, but space for programming. We're partnering with groups like different groups in order to make sure, this group is leaving me, in order to make sure that we have programming, not just sports, but also programming. We'll be doing environmental stewardship, cityscape, that was able to do workshops with our youth and understand the importance and power of green space, and also to advocate. We have through the mayor's office, through Baltimore City, we have the Yes Club, where we're able to have youth clean the green space. And so we want them to understand the importance of not just this is a green space and let's play, but also the importance of the green space, keeping it clean, and having workshops and understanding. Yep.
And my other question for the mayor is, speaking of investing in communities, yesterday there was the big opioid settlement. What is your message to people who are either struggling or their loved ones who are struggling that help is on the way?
I guess the first thing I would say about yesterday's settlement is that I am grateful to the jury for seeing the truth. But in that moment, I'm also thinking about all those people. There is no one that I know that's lived in Baltimore more than 5 years that has not been impacted by the opioid and overdose epidemic in the city. So my first thoughts were with those families, right? And actually, you guys have me being notified about it on camera. If you go back to the footage from the Brooklyn celebration yesterday, I was notified then and leaned over to Councilwoman Porter. That's my first thought. But for those who are out there who are still struggling, who need help, who are ready for the help, which is an important thing, just know that we're here. And what's going to happen now, as we laid out over the summertime, is there's going to be a very aggressive effort throughout this city to help heal this city from the aftermath of this crisis that we know was a cause to spike in that way by the actions of those who were found liable yesterday. Thank you.